I want to share a cautionary tale with you. I was speaking with a YouTuber recently who's grown her channel to over 24,000 subscribers. She gets a really solid number of views on each of her videos, but just from YouTube alone, her channel is making less than $200 a month and sometimes less than $100 a month through AdSense alone. So if you do the math on that, that's less than $2,400 a year, which is not even close to being a full-time income. But you're probably asking, well, how often is she posting? She's doing everything right. She's posting every single week. She's checking all the boxes. She's doing everything the right way. And yet she's still scrambling to turn this into a full-time income. What this does is it puts so many people on the YouTube hamster wheel. If you ever feel like you are constantly creating content to chase after views, to hopefully make enough money to bring in a full-time income through this platform, then you're not alone. I have chosen to monetize my YouTube channel, and I've helped thousands of people to date do so without ever having to worry about the number of views you get or the number of subscribers you have. So stop just making YouTube videos and turn this into a true business model. That's what we're going to dig into today. Like I said, I've helped clients in over 47 different countries. I've been doing this for close to a decade. We have case studies in so many different niches, over 600 to date, from dancers to doctors to lawyers to accountants to everything in between. So you're in good hands, you're in the right place, and I'm excited to dig in. If you are really serious about this, I do encourage you to comment below with give me the free ebook, and I've created a free guide with my bulletproof business plan to scale your skill set and 10x your income without trading time for money. Because I've been doing this for so long, I have had a front row seat to just how much YouTube has changed over the years, and more importantly, just how much the whole online business ecosystem has changed over the years. And I feel like it's my responsibility to share the behind the scenes with you and the strategy that I implement and my clients implement to be able to monetize and create more than a full-time income using their expertise, their skill set, the thing they're good at, the thing that they're passionate about. So let's dig in. Like any industry, business booms when supply is low, but demand is incredibly high. In the online business space, if you were one 10 years ago, then the supply and demand pendulum was really working in our favor. There was limited amount of content on the internet for free compared to what there is today, and there was a high demand. I actually am a prime example of that working in my favor. Because content was scarce, but demand was high, my very first YouTube video that I made was about live streaming, and I was one of the first and only videos on the topic at the time. Everyone wanted to know about it at the time, so I saw a surge in views despite having no audience, and thanks to people finding my video in the search results here on YouTube. But today, because there is so much free content and so many more creators, everybody is chasing the newest topic, the newest trend, the newest video to create. And because everybody is racing to be first, nobody is really able to win. Content and free information is at a surplus, which has led to demand being totally diluted for a multitude of reasons. One is information overload. People can't find the right help without sifting through thousands of options. Guru fatigue. They have no idea who to trust. Number 3 is DIY disaster. Trying to piece together the information that they need can lead to disastrous outcomes and a much longer path for people to get the goal that they're actually looking and searching for. Number 4 is outcome impatience. People just don't have time to waste watching a bunch of different videos to try and solve their problem. And this is what unfortunately puts so many people here on this platform on that hamster wheel, constantly creating new content to try and chase views and subscribers and engagement. And it's only fueled by creating more content, which usually works completely against what people get on this platform to ultimately achieve. And a little secret that I feel like I need to share with you is that there are a ton of big names on this platform, and they're creating amazing content and they're doing it every week and they make it look effortless. And it's effortless for a reason, because I know that there are folks who are paying upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 a month on full production, ideation, scripting teams to create the YouTube concepts and content for them. And when you contrast that to the average person, and a recent study that was shared that stated 79% of creators have experienced burnout, with that figure increasing to 83% amongst creators who are struggling to monetize their platform. And of the surveyed content creators, 48% earn less than $1,000 a month from their creative work, 15% earn between $1,000 and $2,500 a month, and 37% earn a full-time income of over $2,500 a month. So how how on earth does the average person have a shot at creating a full-time income with YouTube through an online business? Well, the thought process for most people is they have an idea, a passion, a thought that they want to share. They make a YouTube video. They hope they get favored by the algorithm. They wait for the views to hopefully roll in. And finally, they hope that they make some money from AdSense. So is it possible to be a full-time creator on YouTube? Yes, it is. But it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of sweat equity to be able to get it to that point. And still, you're not entirely in control of what you're able to earn because ultimately the algorithm is your boss. And the algorithm is going to dictate whether or not you're going to get the amount of views that you need for this to be a full-time thing. And just so you're aware, your earnings on YouTube, generally it's between 1 to 3 cents per view. So if you get 100,000 views on a video, you're earning $1,000 to $3,000 for that video. But just think about how challenging it is to get that number of views and how often it's going to happen, which it may not be very frequently and probably won't be very frequently for the average person on YouTube. And I don't know about you, but I like control. I like to know and be able to predict what I'm able to earn in my business on a monthly basis. And I've created an incredibly peaceful, purposeful, and profitable and predictable business over these last 10 years. And I'm going to share exactly what that looks like in just a second. The reality is most people get into YouTube and into online business because they want to have the freedom to work when they want and how they want. They want to detach their time from their income, and they want to impact people outside of just their local area. So I have good news and I have bad news. So I will start with the bad news first. The bad news. So a natural and assumed first step is to just start making content on YouTube. But just making YouTube videos today does not alone build a business, and it does not ensure you will make a full-time income. And more importantly, it certainly doesn't ensure you will have the freedom when you're constantly making content to try and chase the algorithm. Now, here's the really good news. You do not need a big audience. You don't need a ton of subscribers to make a very good income on this platform. I have a ton of examples that I can share with you, but one that I just shared recently is Brandon's story. He's one of my clients and he was able to make $1 million in 1 year with less than 4,000 subscribers. So I do encourage you to check that out next so you can see a real life example of how this works. Now, this isn't a quick fix and this isn't an overnight success, but it is a strategic, predictable plan. And if you're in it for long-term impact and income, this is an incredible model to follow. So how do you turn free YouTube content into a predictable, consistent online business? Well, instead of just making a YouTube video on your idea, passion, or thoughts, and hoping you get favored by the algorithm, waiting for views to roll in, and hoping you make some money from AdSense, we need to start at stage 1, which as a warning is where most people get stuck. So leveraging this platform in a way where you can actually turn it into a full-time business and a more than full-time income starts with mastery. Mastery is generally where people get stuck because they are just making YouTube videos without a business plan to actually monetize their channel. And most importantly, they have nowhere to send the people who are viewing their videos. So therefore, people are watching their videos, forgetting about them, and then just getting lost in a sea of information. But why this ends up putting people onto a hamster wheel and getting them stuck in that trap is because they're starting to put themselves out there, which means that they're starting to get attention for what they're doing, whether it's a teeny tiny little audience or a bigger audience. And what happens then is that they may have a little bit more demand to work with them, but at the same time, they don't have any more hours in the day. So they're just getting into a further trap of trading time for money, creating more content on YouTube, having people who actually want to hire them to do the work that is their expertise or their skill set, but they're ultimately just filling their calendar with more time working for other people and working for the algorithm rather than finding a business model or creating a business model that allows them to serve and impact more people without having to trade time for money. So this creates the law of diminishing returns. They start to get a little bit of acknowledgement, there's more demand, but less time, which leads to negative returns, a full calendar, being burnt out, being stuck, and being trapped in just this constant loop of doing more work. So at a bare minimum, to truly monetize this platform in your own way where you actually have control, you absolutely need to be building an email list from your YouTube channel. Because if you build an email list, you then actually own that audience. You don't own the algorithm on YouTube. You have no control over the algorithm on YouTube. Therefore, if you have an email list, it gives you a massive unfair advantage because you're building this list off of YouTube that you can then send any new videos to, and you have a built-in audience of people who are going to care about them and want to watch them, which gives you signals and positive signals in the algorithm to be seen by more people just like that. So it goes creating a YouTube video, and then offering something where the viewer can then sign up to your email list and become a member of your community off just this platform, so you can constantly stay top of mind and be the go-to for them in whatever space or industry that you want to be the authority. And you can do this simply by setting up a landing page and offering a guide, a free ebook, a PDF, a checklist, something that is relevant to the video and to your ideal client and viewer. And a step further from that is making your YouTube content, but actually giving people something that they can invest into and purchase from you. Think about it this way. People are finding you on YouTube because they're finding you so helpful and so knowledgeable, and you're exactly what they're looking for. Because oftentimes people are looking and searching for solutions to their problems and the answers to the questions, and you're then showing up. So give them somewhere to go. You can either send them directly to a purchase button, or you can send them to a calendar where they can book in a call with you to see if you're a good fit to work together. But the best part of this is you're actually giving this viewer an opportunity to further your relationship with them, as opposed to watching your video, forgetting about you, and you having no opportunity to truly build a real community off of just YouTube itself and solely relying on the algorithm to show you to the people who need to see you, which makes you completely out of control and completely reliant on an uncontrollable source, which is the algorithm, to be seen by enough people to try and make an income when, as we've seen, that is really an uphill battle. So simply put, in the mastery phase, as you're starting to gain some recognition, you know what you're talking about, you have some knowledge, all you need to know is this: you have to create the content and pair it with a very strategic call to action. Stage 2 is method. If you're going on YouTube and you want to make YouTube videos, you generally have something to share. So if you have skill set, expertise, a passion that you want to talk about, this is such a great platform to do so, and it's such a great opportunity to monetize that skill set and that knowledge. And the reality is, if you have mastered a skill set, experience, expertise, whatever it may be, you have ultimately created your own unique way of doing it. And that is what sets you apart from everybody else who's talking about the same thing on this platform. So you have to hone in on your unique method, your unique approach, your unique credibility and background, and use that in your content to be a unique option and to really stand out in that niche. What I always harp on is you want to be a big fish in a small pond. And how you do that is by ultimately really defining your niche, which I'll talk about in just a second. So you want to think about it like this: being in a broad space and competing with a sea of information out there makes it really competitive. So you have ultimately your industry, and then you have your market, and then you have your niche. And your niche is where you want to focus to truly be that big fish in a small pond and be found by the right people on autopilot every day on this platform. So step 1 to really dialing in that niche is understanding what is your specific skill set or expertise and what makes you different and or more credible than what is currently on YouTube. And a big key to this is understanding your unique selling proposition, which I did go into detail on in this video where I talk about standing out from the competition. So I do recommend checking out that next. I'll put a link to it in the description. Step 3 is creating mentorship at scale. I talked about the fact that if you start to put yourself out there, you start to gain a little credibility and recognition, and people want to work with you. That's an amazing thing. In my own personal experience, when I started making videos on this platform, I was getting reached out to by far more people, because all of a sudden I went from me in my little old house and apartment in Vancouver, Canada, to being seen by people all over the world. So the demand on my time went up. But like I said, because I didn't have a business model to support it, it ultimately led to me burning out because I just didn't have enough hours in the day to work with all of these people. So the opportunity in stage 3 is to create a business model that can scale and doesn't require your time and constant attention to be able to make an impact and an income. So what that model looks like is you're ultimately going from a done for you option, which means you're doing the work for people and trading your time for money, to a done with you option, which means that people are able to study what they need to know, learn what they need to know from you without you having to be constantly available to get them to their end goal. So to put this in a very clear sort of model for you, basically it breaks down to you productize and package your skill set, expertise, or experience into an online curriculum that people can study at their own pace and time, a community of like-minded clients who go through the curriculum together, and consulting and coaching done in a group setting at regular times each week to create support and accountability. This model is what we call a legacy business, because ultimately, if you have a business that constantly requires your time and effort, it's not really a business, it's a job. And that's what YouTube as a whole can turn into if you don't have a business model to support it. So a legacy business is ultimately something that allows you to create an income and an impact without you being there. And ideally, as morbid as it sounds, it can outlast and outlive you. When it comes to just making YouTube videos, it really does put you in that rat race and trading time for money because you're constantly making content to hope that it's eventually going to turn into a full-time income. When you use YouTube in this way with a structured business model behind it, YouTube turns into this asset that can work for you when you're not working because people are discovering your videos from all over the world. You're showing up as the expert that they need and the authority that they need, and they're choosing to work with you. So you're getting leads, clients, and sales all day long, pretty much on autopilot without your constant energy, effort, time, presence, or attention. And I think the big differentiator here is looking at YouTube from the lens of not just being a content creator, but being a business owner. And so ultimately, you're not chasing views, you're not chasing vanity metrics. What you are really looking to do is get the accuracy of the right viewers on your content that will turn into clients for your business. And what that does is it takes you from trying to get this huge audience to really making YouTube work for you and really putting it on autopilot for you, like I said. So this is the flywheel that we implement for ourselves and for our clients. And what it is you know who your ideal client is, you make hyper relevant content for that ideal client. The algorithm then categorizes you as the authority on that topic and in that space. And then it starts to use its internal traffic sources like search, suggested, and browse to push you to more people just like that. So you don't need a big audience, but you're going to build a hyper-targeted audience of people who are actually going to turn into long-term, happy clients and customers that you can have a major impact on. And what this does is it actually creates a super high demand for you because you're not trying to blend in with everybody else. Like I said, you've carved out your own unique niche and approach because of your expertise and skill set. So it's positioning you to be the go-to in that space for the right people, and you're not drowning in that sea of information. Big fish, small pond. So the ultimate path looks like this. You share your expertise on YouTube for free. You have a global customer reach at your fingertips. You productize your knowledge into an online program, and it creates this unlimited and scalable earning potential. This is a business model that can truly stand the test of time. Like I said, I've been doing this for just about 10 years at this point. So I am the proof that you probably need. And like I said, we've worked with thousands of people to do the same thing. And what this does is it gives you so much more power and control in creating predictability in your income and creating consistency in your business. And it truly allows you to not be limited by time, capacity, or hours in the day. You don't have to stay on top of social media trends. You don't have to worry about the algorithm changes or needing to go viral. And you don't have to post content all the time to generate an income and the ideal clients. And ultimately, you don't have to use paid ads either. And if you're really serious about this, I do recommend that you go to the link in the description. It's in the top line of the description, and grab my bulletproof business plan. That is my 10 steps to scale your skill set and 10x your income without trading time for money. So go grab that right now. You got nothing to lose. It's completely free, and it's going to walk you through the process of really being able to implement and do this. So if you have light bulbs or thoughts or comments that you want to share, please do in the comment section below. It is my love language to see how my videos make an impact. So I love to see them. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out this video next. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.